it going, guys? Madden Mobile Slay back with another video. And guys, this is probably one of the most controversial Madden Mobile teams ever created. So, to first start off, I do not at all recommend any type of domestic violence, abuse, any of that. This is just basically myself showing the team, basically the players that have unfortunately jumped into domestic violence, that whole kind of arena, and have participated and of course been suspended by the NFL at one point in their career. Now, currently all of these players, I believe, are playing active. Some of them have retired, but we're going to go through the team, and basically I'll give you actually the backstory of what they actually did. So it's kind of interesting, just kind of it's kind of a really savage video to do, and kind of like very like not cool kind of, but I thought it would be interesting. I know you guys want interesting content, so might as well drop a hot domestic violence video. So I actually have this page, this kind of like booklet that I printed off. I was getting real into it, so if you hear pages, it's because I'm looking up their name and what they did. But basically, let's start it off. Michael Vick, 99 overall. Now, he didn't necessarily get put into the category of domestic violence, but he did, of course, animal abuse with his dogs, dogs fighting, all that kind of stuff. And I mean, if the dog is a domestic animal, he can be in the video. So, of course, everyone knows Mike Vick. Adrian Peterson, one of the more known domestic violence participants. He, of course, was showed battery and was very inappropriate to his son in his forms of punishment, which did result in a large suspension from the NFL. Now, Amon Green, who would have known, but he was the halfback, and basically what he did is he basically had domestic abuse against someone, and the dude would not go down. Literally, it says right here, the police had to taser Amon Green to take him down because they're trying to arrest him for domestic violence, which he did participate in. But I find that incredibly crazy. So, moving on to the next player, Quincy Ununwa. I don't even know how to say that name, but Quincy Ununwa, basically what happened is he was on the practice squad for the New York Jets. He had a simple assault stemming from a September 4th domestic violence. He allegedly pulled a woman off her bed and tried to smash her head against the ground, which of course is not at all cool. Like, come on, bro, chill. He pled not guilty, but still was punished in the process. So, as dark and as deep as this video sounds, if you don't want to watch this, feel free not to. But I'm just trying to bring out different content, all that kind of stuff. And if there's anyone who's going to talk about this, it's Madden Mobile Slay. So moving on, Santonio Holmes. Now, let me find my little information about him. Santonio Holmes, a lot of you probably wouldn't know, but he was arrested as the mother of his child called the police and said that he had assaulted her. Holmes returned home and was subsequently arrested, and the receiver has also been in disorderly conduct of marijuana possession. So, of course, San Antonio Holmes not being good with the kid and the mom. That is not cool, but that's him. If you guys want to see the cards too, you guys probably don't really care about their stats right now because that's not the focus of this video. But moving on, Brandon Marshall. What is going on with this boy? Who knew? I did not know Brandon Marshall was involved in any kind of stuff. But, I mean, apparently his demeanor has changed. He was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder on July 30th, 2011, and claims that it negatively affected his adult life. Now, at a birthday party with Bronco teammate, Williams was fatally shot. The receiver was also stabbed by his wife. So, basically, Brandon Marshall was in the same place where his friend was shot. I don't know if I don't necessarily know who shot him, but then Brandon Marshall was also stabbed. So I don't know if he necessarily did anything, but he was involved in so much domestic violence with his friends. I believe he was suspended for a period of time just because the NFL couldn't have him representing them like that. Now, moving on, we have the offensive line. Jonathan Ogden. I believe Jonathan Ogden was involved in just normal domestic violence, like battery against family members. Marquise Pouncey was actually accused, and to this day, we still aren't 100% sure if he actually was accused for domestic violence. Ja Reed he was actually beating up someone in a club. It was a woman, and it was not a good club, let's just say that, and he just started punching her. So the dude, of course, got suspended. That's a domestic violence case. Now, Lael Collins, something is going on with La'el Collins. Not 100% sure, but Teron Armstead as well. The two superlatives are the domestic violence homies. I don't know how that happened, but basically La'el Collins, I believe he had battery, of course, against, I think it was his daughter, and then Teron Armstead was also accused of it, but it's not 100% sure if it's actually true. Now, moving on to the defense, I'm going to go through some of these players, and we'll talk. So, of course, we have cornerback A.J. Jefferson. Basically, what happened with A.J. is him and his girlfriend returned home after a night out. They got in an argument. Jefferson returned angry over the fact that she didn't respond to his text messages, grabbed her throat, and threw her on the floor. And the homie got suspended. That's domestic violence. So, not cool, Jefferson. 69 overall cornerback. EA is not trying to make you look good at all. But Dante Whitner, who knew Dante Whitner? He used to be one of the most top-notch flashback pack pulls to get in flashback packs. But I'm going to find his little story. So basically what happened with Dante, he was arrested after a dispute with his girlfriend. He was arraigned and had the charges dropped. Whitner would have been facing up to 15 days in jail. Whitner was tasered down as well in Cleveland as they tried to break up a fight with him. So basically, he got into a bunch of situations, called it domestic violence. I believe he wasn't necessarily penalized, but he did have that alleged dispute. Now, moving on, James Harrison. Now, James Harrison is more commonly known. Let me find his little story, too. I have like this, I literally printed this off at school. Like, the teacher saw me printed off this domestic violence thing, and she's like, what's going on? But let me find with the info about James Harrison. So, I believe, I'm not 100% sure what James Harrison, but so basically what he did is he was arrested on simple assault charges, the mother of his child. Oh no, that's Antonio Holmes. That's wrong. James Harrison, girlfriend, locked herself in a bedroom. The linebacker busted through the door, grabbed her cell phone, and broke it in two. The dude shattered a phone. Like, why? First off, why is your girlfriend getting locked in and locking herself in the bedroom? Like, boy, that's not good for you. Like, you need to treat her with respect, boy. Moving on, let's take a look. The police arrived and found red marks on her face. James Harrison, as much as you are a fantastic linebacker, that is not appropriate, and that is why he is on the domestic violence team. So, next up, we have Daryl Washington. Now, I believe Daryl Washington was also accused with battery, but let me see what we got going on for him. Daryl Washington basically was alleged for shoving his ex-girlfriend with both hands. During her fall, she broke her right collarbone. So, yep, Daryl was not mad. You know, Cardinals, they weren't doing as good. You know, get into the playoffs, but not get in the Super Bowl. And he was just pushed her. And, bro, welcome to the domestic violence team. Glad to have you here. Actually, we're not. And before all of you guys, I know a lot of you guys are so, like, the people who subscribe to me, like you guys, most of you guys are savage and can handle this kind of stuff. But some of you guys are like, this is not cool, Slane. Wah, wah. Like, literally like whine. All right, Eric Walden. I believe Eric Walden also had battery charges. Basically, what happened is his son, I believe he was just abusive to his son, which of course is terrible. So that is not cool, Eric Walden. Moving on to Preston Smith. Let's take a little closer look at Preston Smith. I am very curious about Preston Smith. I haven't read much about him, but let me find him in my little domestic violence cheat sheet that I'm going to burn after this video. Preston Smith. So Preston Smith right here, allegedly, he basically got into a fight at a bar as well, got drunk, hit someone, and that's how it went down. That's that. William Moore, safety. This dude is a boss card. Take a look at this homie. 92 speed, 93 awareness, actually 98 hit power. It's actually not that good of a card. I thought it was really good like when it came out, like it was one of the best, but now compared to today's safeties, ain't no one got time for that card. Now let's see and let's talk about what got William Moore onto this list and why he is on here. So basically, he was charged with simple battery when he allegedly grabbed a woman's shoulder. The arrest came a month after Moore signed a huge contract with the Atlanta Falcons. So, homie grabbed a woman's shoulder, domestic violence. Now, I can't say anything about the situation. As stupid as it sounds, it could, of course, been out of anger or whatever, but the dude did grab her shoulder. So if you grab my shoulder, you're participating in domestic violence. Chris Cook, coming up next with Chris Cook on the domestic violence squad. And I left, of course, you guys will probably be like, why the heck is Eric Berry and Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie? I'll explain in just a second. But Chris Cook, let's talk about Chris Cook. I believe I do have information on him. Chris Cook. There we go. So basically what happened with Chris Cook is he was agitated that his girlfriend had spoken to her ex-boyfriend. Boy, Cook threw her on a bed and strangled her. Okay, wait a second. Okay, this is actually intense. She freed herself by pulling Cook's dreadlocks. Go, girl. Cook then hit her in the ear. Victim ran out. Defensive back grabbed her by the neck. Holy mahanga. Basically, Chris Cook was mad, and the girl beat him. She handed him to L. I don't even know why the bro is doing that. That's messed up, bro. Y'all need Jesus, and y'all need to just chill out because domestic violence is not the way to go. I'll tell you that. It's not like I have an experience or anything, but I'll tell you that. Greg Hardy, moving on. Greg Hardy basically picked up his girlfriend and threw her into a bathtub. Okay, fantastic. He tried to pull her up by the hair while threatening to kill her, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of choking going on, not what we want to see. So Greg Hardy, with these alleged charges, did get suspended. Now, it was so hard for me to find offensive violators, like domestic violence, but for defense, it was so easy. I don't know why. Not saying it's because they go hard on defense, they go hard at home. Not what I'm saying at all, but you just got to chill with me because this stuff is savage. Tony McDaniel, he played for the Seattle Seahawks and the New Orleans Saints. Basically, his girlfriend got into an argument about a late night of partying. He pushed his girlfriend, hit her head on the pavement, domestic violence charge. Moving on. Kevin Williams. Kevin Williams is a defensive tackle. Basically, what happened with Kevin Williams is, as I find, Kevin Williams basically was upset with his wife because she wasn't wearing her wedding ring. Boy, if she ain't wearing her wedding ring, it's because she don't want to date you or marry you. Boy. So basically, he was drinking, threw her across the bed, blah, blah, blah. She had blood on her shirt, and bro, not cool. 96 overall veteran player. Not the chillest ever. Frosty Rucker, 79 overall defensive end. Frosty, come on, brother. Stop rucking crazy stuff. Was officially charged with 2 counts of spousal battery and vandalism. Boy freaking took, like, paint and started vandalizing stuff. The charges, of course, his girlfriend suffered minor injuries and saw her BlackBerry and cell phone damaged. So not only was he involved in domestic violence, but he saw that BlackBerry and was like, ain't no one got time for that, and smashed that BlackBerry. So I don't know. I mean, maybe he's an iPhone user. Who knows? But Eric Berry and Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie. Now, I couldn't find any other safeties or cornerbacks. If you guys do know, go ahead, but I just left them because they were on my team. Eric Berry, of course, battled cancer, all good. He has no charges, so he's fine. Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie, he's cool too. So those guys don't have any domestic violence. Of course, I don't want to go. All of the kickers and kick returners who had domestic violence are officially retired. Stover, who was a kicker, was involved in domestic violence, but does not have a card in Madden Mobile. So, without further ado, here is the squad. I am not at all impressed with my work with this. I hate this team, but I'm glad you guys were entertained. That's all that matters. Now you guys are more informed on domestic violence because I know a lot of people are quiet to it, but I wanted to make you guys informed. I do not at all want you to go saying Slay is all about domestic violence. That is not. I am opposite of this team. I would go up to all these boys and be like, yo, boy, why are you doing that? I would drop a diss track on you if you try and do that to your wife one more time. Okay, I'm done. Jonathan Ogden, Brandon Marshall, Michael Vick, Adrian Peterson, Mon, Green, Lael, Connors, hey, peace.